Greetings, I'm Dike Rostant. Welcome back to the TTT News. If you never knew that South is loved before, this conversation is going to change all of that. Point Fortin's first female mayor, Saleema Thomas, she joins us to discuss the 42nd anniversary of the inauguration of the Borough of Point Fortin and its launch this Friday on the 22nd of April. Welcome, Mayor. 42 years. How excited are you for the 22nd?
Well, who aren't excited? We are here in Point Fortin very much excited because our birthday celebration is second best to our carnival celebrations. So yes, we are very excited indeed and looking forward to our list of events that was shared and is circulating throughout the world. And we are very much anticipating, our visitors and our events being a success. Yeah.
So we're going to come back to that second best in just a bit, but tell us about some of the activities that you say are circulating around the entire world, please.
Right. So we would have, I'm certain that you have a copy of our calendar of events that is circulating. It's somewhat a three-week event, and that would have started on Sunday, the 17th of April, where we kicked it off with a week of sporting activities. So Easter Sunday, we had our netball tournament, and presently today, we have our cricket tournament taking place. And then we move straight into our launch on the 22nd, which is this Friday. And the launch will have a taste of everything. It's a cultural show where we would have both local acts and also we will have some soca artists, popular soca names here in Trinidad and Tobago and throughout the world. And we'll also have a taste of some display of traditional masks. So we will have a bit of everything at the launch. So we are inviting, persons to come and be a part of our official launch, which is on the 22nd of April, starting at 6 p.m. and ending at 11 p.m. at the Victor Trinket Park in Point Fortin. And as we move along, on the calendar, you will see from the 23rd, which is the day right after, we will be hosting some community spotlight events throughout the various electoral districts in Point Fortin. And again, it takes the form of a cultural type event. Each event will have its own twisted because each councillor is responsible or they will be overseeing those spotlight events. So that for example, we will have one in Tishe Guapo on the 25th and the title is Positive Vibrations, where it's a cookout competition and a concert right after. Then there is another spotlight event on the 26th at at New Village, and that is the Vintage Meets the Soca. And again, it's a combination of our local, everything has to do with the local content. So it will be all our local persons coming together. So, and a bit of soca that will be joined together. On that same day, we have our health and wellness fair that will take place at the Victor Trinket Park, and that will be more in the morning time. And then as we move along the calendar, we have another spotlight event that is titled Hollywood Heroes, and this will be at Fanny Village. And then on the 28th, we have our business fair, where we title it Is a Point Thing, and we're encouraging all our entrepreneurs to come out and display their artwork, to share with the visitors that are coming to Point Fortin all their creativity, whether it be clothes, whether it be food, pepper sauce, anything that our local entrepreneurs, because we know over the last 2 years, we would have had an increase or a boost in the entrepreneurs in the Point Fortin area. So we are encouraging our local entrepreneurs to be a part of this business fair.
And we want to get to some of those pivots and in terms of the entrepreneurs and stuff in just a bit, Mayor. But it seems as though looking at the spotlights, looking at all these tastes that you're giving us, there are people who starving for the kind of fare that you at the borough, you and the borough are offering at this point in time. What was the pull to the borough and the borough celebrations. I've heard people say that I didn't make it for Carnival, but Point Fortin borough celebrations can't miss me. What's some of those things that attract people to the borough this much, Mayor?
Okay, so that will be the actual day itself, the borough day itself, Saturday, the 7th of May, and that is what drew the crowds to Point Fortin, where I know over the years, persons anticipate the Juve celebrations that starts from 4 a.m. in the morning, and then they will go straight into the traditional mass and then our pan on the move. So this year, the dynamics has changed a bit. So because of the pandemic, a lot of things, we would have scaled things down. But again, we still want to encourage that, persons to still come out and be relaxed, because after being inside for the 2 years and not having some form of celebration, that they'll be able to exhale, and then also to help with our local economic development in our community. So on that Saturday itself, the Juve, we are having some form of Juve. It's a very, very small in comparison to over the years, so that it starts at 4 a.m. and will end at 10 a.m. And then we will move straight into our traditional, after the sanitizing and cleaning of the open spaces where the Juve will take place. We will then have a traditional mass at 3 p.m. And then right after the traditional mass, we go straight into our pan extravaganza. Now the pan will take the form of, instead of it being on the move, the bands will then be stationed so that they will be situated throughout the town center, all the different bands, and then there will be some form of coordination or schedule on how they will be playing throughout the night. So that is the actual day that, a lot of persons look forward to.
Now, I hear you, Mayor, speaking about scale down, smaller, a taste, sanitization. What are some of those logistics in terms of the stakeholders, people who had to do things to make sure that this event, even though it's smaller, it still packs a punch, and it is something that allows or takes the fact that we're still in a pandemic in mind?
All right, so yes, I know this is a very, sore point and a concern for many. So after much discussion with council and also very importantly our stakeholders in our community, it was a lot of back and forth and deliberation before any final decision could have been made. So with us now having celebrations, this year, the plan was for us to put a policy in place where we would have looked at all the key factors surrounding the COVID-19 and this pandemic, and then look at mechanisms that we can put in place to ensure that we have a safe and enjoyable celebration. So yes, having the conversations and meeting, we would have come up with a policy or a document that speaks specifically to how we're going to address the factors, that will affect or, the actual celebrations due to the pandemic. I have been getting a lot of support from our local businesses in Point Fortin, and we have been having meetings with the security officials, health officials, and all the key stakeholders in the Borough of Point Fortin. We have been meeting for the past couple of weeks, and I have to say that, I am very much overwhelmed with the positive response by the business community and how they are accepting that, the celebrations this year. So I can safely say that we will have a safe and enjoyable Borough Days, 42nd anniversary.
And we want to continue speaking about that 42nd anniversary. When we return, we are speaking with the mayor of Point Fortin, Saleema Thomas. Stay with us. We return with so much more. From military parades to mass to sporting activities, there seems to be a little bit of everything in the Borough Day celebration, celebrating 42 years. We are speaking with the Mayor, Saleema Thomas. And Mayor, apparently there's a charitable event as well. What is that initiative about?
Okay, so over the years, I'll just kind of give you a history. Over the years, the former mayors, they will have an event called the Mayor's Ball. So this year, we is a difference. It is somewhat like what they're accustomed to, the Mayor's Ball, but it's an all-inclusive event, and it's a charitable all-inclusive event where part proceeds goes back to the community, and we speaking specifically to the homes in our community. So it could be the home for the ages, because we have a few. We have a children's home, and we also have a home for battered women. So after meeting with the councillors, we would have agreed that we would want to support this initiative by assisting these homes in furthering developing their space, their physical structure, and also looking at ensuring that we outfit their structure with the necessities that they require.
And and I'm still looking at the fact that, okay, well, this is a taste, this is something that is scaled down. What kind of messages have been shared to say, okay, well, this is not the same as you may have been accustomed to, but at the same time, we're going to do these things, have a breath, be able to fellowship with each other, as it were, but be safe in the process?
Yes. Could you just repeat? Didn't hear you clearly.
In terms of sharing your messages, that is going to be a little different, but we'll still be able to enjoy ourselves while being safe. What are some of those ideas that you're pushing that say, these are the issues, we want to be safe, but we want to enjoy ourselves?
Okay, so yes. So as much as the calendar is an extended, extensive one, and persons are very excited to come and participate, and yes, we're encouraging persons to participate. We want to encourage persons that and remind persons that we are still in the pandemic, and even though we are outfitting these events, we are going to ensure that all the mechanisms or measures, health measures, are in place to ensure that persons carry out, all the health protocols that is required to protect themselves. So that I am going to, reassure the public that apart from planning and putting the logistics in place for the events, we are also putting the necessary logistics in place so that persons will feel a sense of safety when they participate at our events. And we want to remind persons that the law requires that you wear your mask in public spaces, so that is definitely one of the requirements, so that our police will be out in their numbers and there will be no exceptions. So we want to encourage persons that even though we are having events in open spaces, you are required to wear your masks at all time. So my reminder to the general public, come enjoy yourself, but this year's celebration is going to be an enjoyable but safe and secure one.
And in terms of looking, and thank you for sharing that message, Mayor, but looking and saying, okay, well, these are some of the people that we want to have, is there an idea that you're catering to, an amount of people? Also, where do people get this information in terms of this day, this is happening? Where do people find the calendar? Where do people find out a little more about what the schedule is like so they can circle that date on their calendar to say, this is something that I can't miss?
Okay, so you can find the calendar of events on the Point Fortin Borough Corporation's website and Facebook page. There is also Point Fortin Borough Council's Facebook page. There is also the Mayor, Her Worship the Mayor, Alderman Saleema Thomas, Facebook page, and the various councillors. But you can visit these pages to access a soft copy of the calendar of events so that you can look at it and see which one best suits you so that you can come down and participate. There are also contact numbers and email addresses that you can reach us at, and the number is 648-3129, and that is the office of the mayor. And then there's the email address, pfbc mayor's office at gov.tt.
I want to thank you for that information. Now, you said that the business community has been very supportive in terms of the work that you've been doing. They've been meeting for weeks. What kind of feedback are you getting from the people that you speak with, the business and other logistics, in terms, because it's been 2 years since you've had the Borough celebration. So what kind of feedback are you getting from people looking forward to it, Mayor?
I think they're excited because, and we all know the past 2 years, really would have been a great challenge, especially not only for individuals, but the business community. So this will help to boost and enhance the economic development in Point Fortin. And I can say, even outside of Point Fortin, because now it will draw more persons to the community, and persons will now, be able to patronize and support the businesses. So the business owners themselves, they are on board. And, they are very much mindful that, yes, we're still in the pandemic. So they are very much encouraging us to ensure that all the necessary protocols are in place, and they are there supporting us every step of the way. So they're excited. I am very much excited for them, because apart from, us having a downturn over the last 2 years, this will help to improve our economy here in Point Fortin, and by extension, the country. So they are very much excited.
And once again, give us that information about the fair event, the day that has a lot of people who would have possibly pivoted and are doing new businesses, in business for themselves. What day is that, and what is the name of that event, Mayor?
Okay, so that is on Thursday, the 28th of April. Its title is Appointing Borough Day Flea Market at Victor Trinket Park. It starts at 10 a.m. and ends at 4 p.m. And this is to encourage all our local entrepreneurs in the Borough of Point Fortin to come out, register, and get a booth. Come out and put all your goods on display, advertise the services that you provide. So it's a way of boosting their business as well, and a form of marketing their products and services.
And in terms of marketing, Mayor, when is the next thing that will be coming out of Point Fortin after the Borough celebrations? What's the next thing we'll be looking forward to in Point Fortin?
Okay, so right after the Borough Day celebrations, we are looking at launching some of our legacy projects. So soon after, we'll continue to put things in place to launch our legacy projects. And just to give you a little tidbit of what our legacy projects are, it is somewhat a creation or a development of spaces in our community to help build and foster that relationship amongst each other, families, neighbors, coming together and be able to socialize and communicate. An example of one of those spaces will be the Pui Park. Well, we have it entitled the Pui Park, and that is just one of the open spaces and that we're hoping to launch soon after the Borough Day celebrations. I know it is a lot, but between the planning and preparing for those legacy projects and then Borough Day celebrations upon us, it is a lot, but we're getting it done.
And we want to thank you for spending some time with us while working towards this. And we've just had a conversation with the Mayor of Point Fortin, Saleema Thomas. And thank you once again, Mayor. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, this has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you for joining us.